So today we're doing the determining density lab, and we're going to determine the density of 3 different liquids. The red is isopropyl alcohol, the blue is regular water, and the green is salt water. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour 10 milliliters of the first liquid into the 10 milliliter in there. And I'm going to use the pipette and get eye level with it to make sure I actually have 10 milliliters. And before I can do that, I need to put the graduated cylinder, the 50 milliliter graduated cylinder, onto here. Then I'm going to press 0, so that has 0 mass. Once I am sure if this has 10 milliliters in it, again, I'm getting eye level to make sure. And I'm going to add a little bit to see and get to where 10 is based on the meniscus. And then I'm going to pour it into here. And I'm going to write down the mass of the first red liquid at 10 milliliters, and the mass is 8.1 grams. I'm going to repeat this process until I get to a total of 50 milliliters into the graduated cylinder. And again, adding what I need just to get the meniscus up to the 10 milliliter mark. Then I'm going to pour the next in, so now I have 20 milliliters total and a mass of 16.2. I'm going to write that down into the data table. And again, I'm going to pour another 10 milliliters in. I went a little bit too much this time, so I'm going to take some out using the pipette. And it's right at about the meniscus. And I'm going to pour it in. And my mass now is 24.3, and this is 30 milliliters. So you can see I'm going up by 10 milliliters every single time. And the mass is increasing every single time. And so now we're at 40 milliliters. And the mass is 32.4. And now I'm going to do it one last time so I can have a total of 50 milliliters. A little bit too much, so I need to take some out. And again, this is 50 milliliters for a mass of 40.6 grams. It now says to calculate the density, and density based on our notes says that it's mass divided by the volume. So for each one, you want to divide that to get what you need to have. I'm going to repeat the steps for the blue and the green, and I'll be back in just a moment. Pause the video so you can calculate your densities. And now I'm back. My graduated cylinder is clean. I've got 10 milliliters of the blue, and again, the blue liquid is just plain water. So I'm going to pour 10 milliliters in. And I get a mass of 9.8. So I'm going to write that down into the data table for 10 milliliters. I'm going to repeat the process. I have a little bit too much. Make sure I have it completely on the meniscus. And then I'm going to pour 10 milliliters for a total of 20 milliliters in. And now my mass is 19.6. So I'm going to write that down into the data table. And now I'm going to pour 10 more in for a total of 30 milliliters. And the mass now is 29.5. Again, writing this down into the data table. What you don't see is I'm doing the other one with my right hand. Okay, and this is a total of 40 milliliters. Now the mass is 39.4, so I'm going to write that down into the data table. And now for a total of 40 mils, or a total of 50 mils, I'm sorry, 50 milliliters. And the mass is 49.3 grams. So again, once again, you're going to want to take the time to calculate the density, mass divided by volume for each one. Okay, and I'll be back with the last liquid. Okay, so now we're on the last liquid. This is the green liquid. This is salt water, so you're going to want to write that down. I've already poured 10 milliliters in, and the mass for 10 milliliters is 11.9 grams. I have another 10 milliliters for a total of 20 milliliters for the liquid volume. I'm going to pour it in, and now my mass for 20 milliliters is 23.7 grams. I'm going to do the 30 milliliters. 30 milliliters has a mass of 35.6 grams. I'm trying to make sure this is accurate since I can't use both hands here. Okay, for 40 milliliters, the mass of the salt water at 40 milliliters is 47.5 grams. And then for the very last one at 50 grams, I'm working on it. Need a little bit more in there. Okay, 50 milliliters has a mass of 59.2 grams. So in your data table, you're going to want to write all this information down and then calculate the density of each one by doing mass divided by volume. And then make sure that you write the name of the liquids above each data table. If you're not sure, look back into the materials section of your lab.